Welcome to the Zeppeldar Commodore 64 Assembly Language Programming Tutorial Series, Episode 7. In Episode 6, I covered sound effects. Today's video is covering a couple of program optimizations and loading in a new player map. A link to the source code for this project will be listed in the video's description. But before we get into that, I wanted to cover a few retro-related things I discovered this past week. First up, for those of you who are radio enthusiasts, there is a listing on eBay for an item similar to the one I previously reviewed, which is not always readily available, which allows your Commodore 64 to play FM radio. Second, I wanted to show off this little game for Android called Scrambler, which is a neat little conversion of Scramble for mobile phones. I've been playing it and it's quite fun. Alright, now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Alright, before I get started, I'm going to run a quick recap of what we did last time and where we're at. So here's what we have so far. We have a little sound effect. The first thing I'm disappointed or I need to fix is up and down to me is reversed. So I want to fix that, and that's a simple fix. But before I do that, let's copy ZEF7 to ZEF8. So let's do a new ASM, and I'm just going to copy and paste the whole source code over from ZEF7 and directly into ZEF8. Now this is a very simple fix to reverse up and down, and you won't even notice it, and I can't even demonstrate it unless you're the one actually pressing the buttons. But you can either change the text here to down and this to up, or you can change this, reverse these two. So I'm just going to do the down and then this to up. And I'm going to test that out real quick. Yeah, that makes... Okay, I can play this finally. Okay. Now, in this segment, the purpose of this segment was to do a quick optimization. I noticed in the last video, I was having these branching errors. Some of that is due to the fact that the code isn't as optimized as it could be. And a real easy optimization that you can do in certain circumstances is to, instead of calling or invoking a macro, if you make this a subroutine, it reduces the amount of instructions. So that's what I'm going to do with these macros here, where it says print text, and in a few cases when it has like blocked, when they're the same, you can just make them a sub, and that little quick optimization, it's easy to do and doesn't take up a whole lot of time. So let's see, so print text. There's a bunch of them for blocked. I want to do the one for blocked only. We'll start there. And here's the macro section. I don't know, possibly even, yeah, I'll just throw it at the bottom. Everything goes to the bottom. Can even put some comments there for it. Let's see, this is what the macro looks like. Let's call it sub print blocked. So I'm going to copy the comment, put it down here. Optimize section. And then I just got to call this in those areas that was doing the blocked. So let's look for those. Okay, so that's my first. I think that's the last one. Yeah, okay. Let's see if it compiles. See if it works. Okay, so that works good. And then the next one I noticed, when I was doing in the earlier videos on this series, when I was setting up the window size, if you're always going to use the same window size, this sub right here, this macro, can be changed into a sub. So why not? So let's do that. Shift window. Let's put it into a sub. And that's an easy thing to do. So I'll just copy one of them. Sub, shift, oops, window. And wherever this shift window is, I just call this sub, and it's a quick, easy optimization, and it reduces your code. So, yeah, I mean, as you're programming, you know, it's important to keep things neat. Once you realize you don't need something anymore, you can go in and get rid of it. And it's all part of the fun, actually. I believe I would say it's all part of the fun, just keeping your code neat and succinct. And of course, there's even further optimizations to be done. You might even astound yourself at how much you can actually reduce if you really put your mind to it. Oh, there's another shift window. I missed. So that was actually in a lot of places. Let's see if it still works now. Windows still moving. Still get my block sounds. Okay, so yeah, that was actually a nice little optimization. Now with the sound, I know I did say, I know there's some optimizations I could do here as well, like this wave up and wave down. Is being repeated in 2 sections. So I have it up here twice. So really I can change the wave. I'm not using one of them I'm not using them both on both sound effects. So I don't think I'm using wave down on this one. I'm only using wave ups. But it doesn't matter. To optimize this part, let's copy wave up and wave down. Let's paste it out of here, Control X. And then instead of, let's put it down here in the optimized, removing the @ sign means that it's now a global variable or a global sub. When it's local to just that area, that particular sub, that's what the @ signs are for. Then we want to do a search and replace for anywhere where it's a @ wave up to change it to wave up. 10 occurrences. Same thing with @ wave down. Change it to wave down without the @ sign. Without the @ sign. Only 2 occurrences. Compile. Okay, I forgot to take out the routine and I forgot to take wave up and wave down out of the first sound effect that I had created. See if it compiles. Okay, so once I stripped out that sub, I also have to do something with the delay. Strip it out and put it below. Make it kind of a global sound delay. Because I have that delay somewhere else, that label. And I just got to fix the problems as they come up. Let's see if the sound effects sound the same. Let me turn it up so you can hear it. Alright, one more quick optimization. I discovered that there's a block of code right here that is duplicated on both of my sound effect modules. So you can see like this code is exactly the same. Now, you can go crazy with optimizations, but these are some easy ones we can do quickly and get them out of the way. I'm just going to make a sub sound init and put it down here under the optimize section. I guess I should go with the sub under sub sound init and then do an RTS at the bottom of that. And we'll do the same thing on this one. And it's just a quick way to reduce some of your code. See if that compiles. And see if it runs. Alright, so for now that concludes this segment on optimization. Alright, for this segment, I'm going to make a copy of the code and create Zef9 and leave the optimizations out of it, out of this. Control V, leave them in the previous Zef8 file. And my intention on this one is to be able to load a different game map. Now, before we get to that point, I want to make the map an exact multiple of 256 times 3, because right now it's 40, the map is 40 across by 16 down, and in order to be an exact multiple of 256 times 3, this would be, needs to be 48 across and 16 down. So I need to make the map a little wider. And it just makes the code cleaner when you do the copy. You can do the copy without having to do the comparison, is my goal, to copy the map in. So my thinking right now is you have this as your game map. I'm going to have another game map, but instead of modifying all the code, all I want to do is copy the new game map into the position of the old game map. And that's how I would load other maps into the memory. So, all right, let me modify the map, and we'll go from there, and then add in a new map. Okay, so there's the new map. Just some kind of something to put there. Now, I have widened the map by 8, so I need to change some variables at the top of the program. So here, okay, that's the entire screen width, but the game width right here is now 48. So let's see if it still compiles. And let's check it out. That's kind of the first part. Now, there's a few more steps if we want to activate it during a key press. So you have to think about how you would transition the map. Like, are you entering into a town, or did you teleport someplace because you touched something? You know, it depends on how you design the program. For now, I am probably just going to do it on a key press just to get it going. So here's all of our key presses. Well, if that's a Q, I'm assuming, let's create a new one. I'm assuming an R would be 3F. Let's see, RST, yeah, let's just do R. We'll do a branch if equal to worried about the branch. Let's see if it can branch all the way down here. I don't know. Or at least, actually it has to just go right here, huh? It's like load new map. For now, just want to see if it'll get here. So you just go a little at a time, slowly, see if things compile. See if it works when I press the R key. I'm going to hit R now. So it did not go. How about Shift R? My assumption was incorrect, so let's see what it is. Let's see what character it is when I press that key. To Q. $11, huh? That is weird. $11. Now we're hung up. Okay, so now it did it. Okay. Let's take that out. Okay, so now that it's triggering and we're getting to the new area of the code to load the new map, the goal is, just for testing kind of right now, let's see where we end up, but I want to copy all of this data right here, copy and paste it up into here. So it's game map 0 and new map 1. So I'm copying from new map 1, pasting to game map 0. Okay. And I can just use like the X register to do that. Load X is 0. Load the accumulator with new map. 1, comma x, store it at game map 0, comma x. Is it 0? Yeah. Increment x, branch if not equal to inner loop. Now you could either do INX or DEX here. We could either do it either way. Now, I believe that said BEQ, so what I'm going to have to do is when it's done, jump back to the main loop. I can't just RTS. Let's see if this is flawed in some way or not. Let's see if it compiles. See what it does. So I'm moving around, and then I hit R. Is that the new map? Is that the new map? No, let's see. This is not the new map. So what went wrong? What went wrong? Did I do my comma X? Decrement X, inner loop. I'm sure those of you who are watching have noticed what my mistake is. So let's do this again. What I have to do, this only copies the first part of the map, the very top. I need this times 3. Duh. So on these, we want to say plus 256, plus 256, and then plus 512, plus 512. So this will copy all of the map, not just the top third portion of the map. So move around a little, gonna hit R. Oh, now I'm in the water. It switched maps, though, you can see. Let's try that again, except if I move a different spot. I'm gonna hit R. Haha. So as you can see now, after my little snafu, we have the map loaded. So there's obviously more work to be done. We want to be able to, for instance, if there's a castle or a town or a catacomb or whatever it is, even warping to a different area, we want to be able to enter that by, I'm thinking, by pressing the letter E to enter, and then ultimately it would be nice if we could do that and have it load the map off of the floppy drive. But that's for a future segment. I do plan on implement that. It'll be a challenge because I haven't done that in some years, so I don't know, I don't recall. Yeah, it's been many years since I've tried to attempt that particular operation. So that should be fun. At least I was successfully able to load a new map. And for example, the first 255 characters would be right here. The second would be right after that in the middle area. And then the third is that last. And that's why that first attempt to get the map loaded didn't work. And I was a little confused. Like, what? I thought I saw something change. So... Alright, well thanks for watching.